Okay. Okay. Zairam, everyone. So I am the host for today. I'm your host for today. Welcome to our virtual Balvikas Open Day. And I am so grateful to hear all of you all. All the voices just gave me a little joy, although the word was just Sairam, only two words, sorry, not two letters, two words in a sentence, but it gave immense joy to me. So thank you to all of you all. So now I think we all are ready. We have said hi to each other, but we have to say hi to the Lord. So let us spend the next moments in contemplation of God, in gratitude for His love and kindness. So let us all sit back, close our eyes, be relaxed, and let's start the prayer.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीनारायण तुम पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तुम सिद्ध बुद्ध तुम स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तुम सविता पावक तुम ब्रह्ममस्य तुम यावशक्ति तुम येषु पिता प्रभु तुम रुद्र विष्णु तुम राम कृष्ण तुम रहीम ताओ तुम रहीम ताओ तुम वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तुम चिदानंद हरि तुम अद्वितीय तुम अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तुम आत्मलिंग शिव तुम आत्मलिंग शिव तुम ओम शांति शांति शांति
Sai Ram, everyone. So I hope all of you all are well and happy and healthy. So dear all, thank you for tuning in here to experience life and the beautiful blessings of creating something good, perhaps very good and everlasting for children. So for those who are tuning in only now, I would like to welcome you again for the 2021 Balvikas Open Day. Okay, before we get into the activities, a small reminder to everyone. Okay, please, I'm sure all of you all are dressed up in traditional attire. Join the call using your name, your full name. Okay, so if your name is iPhone, please do change it to your parent's name. Write it as parent. For instance, Mohan Anna is a parent, so he'll write it as parent Mohan Ram. And secondly, mute your microphone. This is to avoid any lag or overlapping of voices, and turn off your camera. And if possible, the rest I think we have one connection per family, or laptop or computer is preferred to be used. Therefore, if there's any question, please feel free to type it in the chat box. Okay, and without further ado, I would like to invite dear Brother Ramanathan, the chairman of Satya Sai Baba Center of Bandar Klang, for his welcoming address. Sairam, uncle.
Sairam. Sairam, Anushka, thanks for the introduction. Good evening to all of you, and wish you all a very happy Pongal too. And on behalf of the committee and all the gurus, I'm so happy to extend our warm welcome to all you parents and children into our Sai family. And to those who are already part of our family, Sairam. There are quite a number of you who are new to our organization. For their benefit, let me just briefly introduce who we are and what we do. For a start, okay, my name is Ramanathan, and we are all members of SSBC BK, which stands for Satya Sai Baba Center, Bandar Klang. There are more than 80 centers in Malaysia, and all of us come under SSSIOM. This stands for Sri Satya Sai International Organization, Malaysia, that is based in KL. And we all legally... Okay, somebody is not muted.
நான் அவரோட பேரு என்ன இதெல்லாம் என்னன்னு தான் படிக்கிறதுக்கு விண்டோ அது
Okay, they're muted. Okay, like I said, we are part of this SSSIOM that is based in KL, and we are all legally registered with ROS. Besides Malaysia, there are Sai Baba centers in over 180 countries worldwide. All of us come under the overall governing body known as SSSIO, and this is headquartered in India. Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba is the founder of this organization, and in Malaysia, we are a non-sectarian, non-governmental organization dedicated to the promotion of human values, national unity, and selfless service for the poor, sick, and needy. We not only conduct classes for children, but also undertake activities to help humanity in whatever way we can to alleviate suffering and also escalate human consciousness. We have several wings to focus on all these various activities, and you'll be introduced to them shortly. The entire organization is managed by volunteers. And our source of inspiration is our beloved Sri Satyasai Baba. Okay, that was a brief introduction. I think the slide, we can just hold on for a while. Okay, that was a brief introduction of who we are and what our objectives are. If you need further info, please feel free to ask us, or you can also visit our website. All of you are here for the Balvikas program, so I would also like to briefly touch on this. This noble initiative was mooted by our Swami more than 50 years ago. Yeah, long before some of you were even born. Swami says, Swami is famous for so many things. And one of the things he's famous for are his quotations. And Swami says education has two aspects. The first is related to external and worldly education, which is actually bookish knowledge, which we learn in schools. The second aspect is known as educare. That is related to human values, namely Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, and Ahimsa. இதெல்லாம் யாரோட பேருன்னு நினைச்சிடாதீங்க. Once you go deeper into this call, I think they will explain to you what these values are. These values cannot be acquired from outside, as it is inherent and buried in every one of us. So educare means actually to bring out these human values. To bring out means to translate them into action. So the Sri Satyasai Balvikas classes are conducted with the main objective of initiating the child into a course of character building by developing self-discipline, providing healthy association, and inculcating good habits. One of Swami's famous divine quotes, like I told you, is known for his quotations. One of his famous divine quote is, end of education is character. Swami has also said, when money is lost, something is lost. When health is lost, something is also lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost. Dear parents, I'm sure you would have come across or heard of someone who is highly educated, very successful, holding high positions, and highly respected, suddenly being hauled up in court for some wrongdoing like corruption, embezzlement, cheating, and etc. So I'm sure you appreciate how important character is, and that is the real essence of our SSC classes and Swami's message. You might be wondering, are we qualified to conduct these SSC classes? Sorry, I think I've accidentally, can you all see me?
Yes, Uncle, we can see you now, Uncle.
Okay, sorry, I think I accidentally touched the button. Where was I? Yeah, you'll be wondering whether we are qualified to conduct these SSC classes. Well, we have been conducting these classes for over 30 years in Klang. We also have our own gurus training programs conducted in-house, as well as by our central council. In fact, a number of our gurus and assistant gurus are also part of our Balvikas alumni. Why go so far? Our education coordinator, Sister Anjula, she was also a Balvika student. Over time, you will notice that the moving force behind all our activities are our youths, young adults, and all of them were actually Balvika students. So please be assured that you have made the right decision in enrolling your child in our SSC program. They are in good hands, and the gurus will endeavor to ensure the following qualities inherent in your child are brought out to prominence. Namely, can I have the slide, please? These are the qualities that we'll inculcate in them. Respect for parents and elders at home, attention to studies, and respect to school teachers, show good physical orderliness in respect of dress, behavior in school, society, and etc. Develop self-confidence. We have programs where we'll make them come up and talk, come up and act, which will build their self-confidence. Develop good manners and humility and speaking obligingly. Develop good moral character. Effective time planning. We also teach you how to plan your time between play, study, prayers, and etc. And have a spirit of service for those who need help. And also develop love for God and be helpful to all fellow beings. So far, I've highlighted what we do, what we can do, and what we will do. Now, let's come to what you can do. Enrolling your child is only the first step you have taken. However, your responsibility does not end there. To enable your child to derive the maximum benefit from this program, we need your assistance and involvement too. The child is with us for only 1 or 2 hours per week, and thus it's crucial that they do not miss classes or distracted during class. So some of the things that you can help us with is like attend class and ensure they are on time to attend this class. They have a conducive environment during class, encourage participation in activities and assignments. Please check your WhatsApp messages for your particular groups and make sure you're updated on the postings. Give feedback to the gurus on any issues pertaining to these classes. We value your feedback. Provide insights or feedbacks to gurus pertaining to your child's behavior if it warrants attention. So if you feel that in the house there are certain things that you need to highlight to the gurus, you can highlight to the gurus. Thank you, parents and dear children. Wish you all a very fruitful year ahead, and please feel free to contact me or anyone in the committee or the gurus if you need any clarification or assistance. Another very important request, please be safe, and stay healthy. Thank you, and Sairam. Back to you, Anushka.
Thank you, and Sairam, uncle. I see a few of you all are raising up your hands. So if you have any questions, please feel free to write it in our chat box. And once again, please don't forget to mute and off your videos. And for the next session, I would like to invite Sister Anjula, the Education Coordinator of Satya Sai Baba Center of Bandar Klang, to give us a little insight of the SSE program, a powerful tool and an effective way that cultivates love, compassion, faith, and many other values. So let us sit back and tune in attentively. Sairam Ka?
Sairam. So if you all can hear me, you can go to your chat box and put a thumbs up or number 1 and say that you can hear me. Come on. I want to see how is everybody attentively listening. You can go to the chat box and click or type in 1. Or you can put a thumbs up if you have an emoticon on your laptops or gadgets. Okay. All right. Sairam, everybody, and a very good evening to everybody. I am very glad to see that we have 125 participants today in this call. And this really brings a lot of excitement to the gurus and the team of Bandar Klang to bring forward, Swami's message to all of you and your children, bringing in the right values to your children, right? So I think as the call started today, right? There was a tree, a picture of a tree, right? So today we're going to talk about the tree to make you understand what is Balvikas, or commonly also known as Sai, spiritual education, SSE. So you may hear it in different terms, right? And today we're going to use the tree to make you understand in a simplified manner how this program is going to make your child have a good character, right? Let's go to the tree. So how many of you have a little plant or a tree at home? Click the chat box and say yes if you have one. Okay. How many of you love fruits from the tree? Like, how many of you like mangoes from the tree? If you have a mango tree, how many of you like, durians from the tree? If yes, say yes on the chat box. Right. All of us would want to have a sweet apple. Would we want any apples with worms? If it's no, say no. All right. Everybody is attentively listening. I can see how fast the chat box is running with the word no now. Right. So let's take a peek to see how a tree grows. How many of you know how a tree grows? If yes, say yes. I think it's from the little cuties, right? How a tree grows. Okay, let's look at the next slide. All right. For a beautiful tree, a big healthy tree, it all starts with a very small seed, right? A very cutie seed. And then this cutie seed is put into a soil, right? And then you need to water the soil as well as the seed, and slowly with some air and with some sunlight, the little sprouts, and it will start shooting out. Can you see that? And then as you nurture and be the gardener for that little seed, the little plant, it will become a medium-sized plant. And the medium-sized plant will become a large-sized plant. And then it will become a huge tree, right? I don't know how many of you have heard this word, alamaram. How many years does it take for a big banyan tree to become a big tree? If anybody knows the answer, click the chat box and give me your answer. All right. 1,000 years. Okay. All right. 100 years, 30 years. Okay. Some are already Googling, hitting the Google. 20 years. All right. So okay, thank you everybody. So I'm going to bring you to see that this tree is, how useful is this tree? This tree gives you shade, this tree gives you fruit, the trunk can be used to build bridge, there's so many purposes from this tree. And this tree, we want to give you an example. This tree equates to your child, right? And this little seed where the tree started with is your child. So today, or I think a week back, when you enrolled into the Balvikas program, you have basically planted that seed of yours into the soil. And this soil is the SSE or Balvikas that we call it, right? And what we gurus do in our weekly classes, which we used to have it physically, now we have it virtually. We water them with all the knowledge and values so they can bring out the value of that seed and become a beautiful tree that will serve the purpose for everybody, right? So everything comes out from within that little seed, right? The seed will push itself and come out of the soil, slowly see the sun, and then slowly start breathing and slowly becoming useful to everybody, and gives us oxygen also at the same time, right? So most of you know this is a little science class that I'm going through, right? So if you see the beauty of this tree is, it starts with that little small seed that which all of you have planted today. So that seed resembles your child. The water resembles your gurus. The air, to give them enough space and not stuff them through, making sure that they all are comfortable with enough air and they can breathe through well, right, is the parents. And the sun, the most importantly, is God, right? So God will be always there, everlasting, always there, giving the little seed to become a beautiful tree. So for all of you, get me? If yes, number one. Let's hit the chat box. Very good, right? So anybody ask you, what does this actually do, this Balvikas? It brings out that little value from that child to become a huge tree, exactly like how the little seed became a big tree. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Right. If you see how the little seed grew and became a big tree, what is very prominent on that particular tree when it became big? Two things are very prominent. What are those? Type the chat box. Parents can help the little ones. If the cuties are still unable to type, get the word from their mouth and use your hands and type into the chat box. Yes, roots and leaves. Yes. Did the root become so strong immediately? No, it took days, it took months, it took years to become strong and deep into the soil. And only when it's strong and deep into the soil, it can be strong, stable, and it can grow tall and big and huge, and it can have fresh leaves. What does the root bring to the tree? What does the root bring to the tree? Anybody? Science class. How does the water get into the tree? Which element of the tree?
Root.
Root. Yes, yes, yes. So the root. Who gives the water? Who gives the water in the Balvikas program? Guru. Yes, yes, yes. Gurus. Right. So the more the water gets into, the more stronger the root becomes, the more bigger and fresh the tree becomes. And then it provides shade. It becomes useful to society. And this is what exactly we all parents want our child to be. A big, healthy tree, a happy tree, making everybody everywhere happy. Yes or not, parents? If it's yes, come on, chat with me. All right, let's go to the next slide. So today, since you have already understood about why SSC, so that is the essential part in life. When we do something, we must know why we are doing something, right? So today, I just gave you the analogy of a tree to make you understand why we have SSC program. Again, to tell you, to bring out that value from that little cutie seed to become a big tree. So the value is already there. It's just that we are nourishing the tree, the seed, and putting it in the right place so that it becomes a beautiful tree and not a tree that is unhealthy, unnourished, and so forth. Right? So now I'm going to share with you the SSC framework using a very good abbreviation, which is SCI and common to everybody. So the first part, I'm going to teach you or going to explain to you to make you be aware of what exactly SSC is about, the science of it, the essence of it. And then how do we apply this to our little children, to our parents? And then finally, how do we integrate this whole thing as a big happy family, the child, the parent, and the guru, all together, how we work together like a one big building block so that this particular tree is going to be useful. Everybody ready to find out the framework? You can use the reaction buttons also and you can use it to let me know as well, right? There's this function for you to click the reaction buttons as well. Right, let's go with the first one, science of SSE, right? So we are going to see this big question, science of SSE, right? Next slide, please. Next slide, yeah. So all the parents today in the call, including myself. If you see, I've labeled myself as a guru and as a parent, right? I'm a mother of two. I have a child who's 12, and I have a child which is 9, right? And both of them are girls, and they all started with the Balvikas program, like how I started my Balvikas program. Like what Uncle mentioned in the call earlier, Brother Rama, for me is Uncle, right? I started Balvikas when I was at the age of 9. And today, who I am, I'm thankful to my mother, my aunts, and everybody, my gurus, who are still the gurus, the team that I'm still working with today, who have nourished me with all the right nutrients and the right waterings. Okay. And today, I am who I am because of this program. So I started as a student, I moved as a guru. Today I coordinate this program. And I'm telling you, this product is a very good product that has a return of an investment with only investment, not in dollar sign, but in 4-letter word, LOVE, right? So that is the payment, love that we have. And there's no payment in any dollar and signs in this program, right? So how do we raise children with good character? End of the day, like what Uncle said, end of education is character. We want our children to have the best character when they finish their graduation, when they go to university, when they go to school, they go to, wherever they go. We want the child, or we want to hear people say, this is an excellent child with so much of character, so good, so good. How is that possible? Are you asking yourself this question? I heard all your mind voice. If yes, click the chat box. All right. Okay. So now, do you want to know the formula for this good character? If yes, yes, yes. All right. Good. So this formula didn't come from me. This formula came from Swami, right? Which I dearly call, which is Satya Sai Baba. All right. And I think some of you may have heard about him. And so now let me bring you to that. Um, So I think you would have heard this thing called, everything starts with a thought, right? So right now, if you look into this slide, you will see that good thoughts gives you good actions. Good action develops good habits. Good habit develops good character. And end of the day, you have a good destiny. Everything is blossoming well in your life, right? 3 things that you need to remember in this slide: head value, the good thoughts; heart value, and hand value, right? This is the 3HV value pyramid that I want you to remember as I take you to the next slide. Okay? Using the same methodology of the seed to the tree. Next. Right. So the head value, which we say good thoughts, how do we have good thoughts? When our thoughts are full of love, it becomes truthful. We will not think about cheating anybody. We will not think about being dishonest when our thoughts are filled with love. When our feelings are filled with love, it becomes very peaceful, very calm. And when our actions are filled with love, then it becomes right conduct, right? So when we put all these together, love becomes so understanding. We become so understanding with everything. We don't adjust ourselves, but we become how? How we become? Someone that everybody wants to be, right? We become a tool of being non-violence. We don't want any kind of violence in terms of argument, in terms of any way, right? So this itself brings the product of a good character. Having good thoughts, having good feelings, and having good actions that work together gives you the child with a good character. And this is where I bring you to the next part, the 5 human values that which is inside that seed. We are bringing out that value, the truth value, the right conduct, the love, the peace, and the non-violence, using the mechanism of love throughout the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions. Next. Right. Now I will go into the application. So how do we apply this? So we have 5 teaching methodologies for the children based on every age group. So we start at the age of 4 and we finish at the age of 17. right? The whole program is for that age. So we have group activities that builds the child's imagination, makes them work together. We have silent sitting that creates a moment where the child learns to focus and expands the memory span, right? And then we also build the storytelling. So you suddenly see your child keeps on telling stories and becomes so passionate about telling things around, right? And then we go to group singing. We bring the value through the singing, and we also have prayers. All different types of prayers are taught in different age groups, which you, when you go into your separate classes, your gurus will give you more in-depth of understanding on all these 5 different teaching methodologies, right? Let's go to the next slide. These are 5 themes that we have. It's called Swami Day, Value Day, and Go Green Day, as well as Interfaith. Interfaith, we cover all the different religions around the world. And then Value Day, we cover all the 5 different human values. Like if you're in group 2, if your child is a 9 or a 10 or a 11-year-old, they will learn about Mahabharata. They will learn about Ramayana. When they move into a group 3 class, they will learn about Adi Shankara. Some of you may be already asking, all these are very familiar, which I wish that when I was a kid, I learned it. But you will have the exposure when you go into the breakout sessions. The gurus will give you more in-depth understanding. So our classes will be themed on these 4 different days, right? Next. And finally, I come to the I. So we finish the science. So we understand SSC is about building good character. How do we apply it using the methodologies and the themes? And now I tell you, how do we integrate this? Next. So there are 3 very important people in this partnership, right? So it's about an investment of time and love here. And this triple partnership model starts with the parent bringing over the child and the guru nourishing them. So when we all stayed connected, right, when we work together, you can see how the child will strive and reach for the stars. And this is ideally what we also bring back again. We need to have the head value, which is commitment, heart value, that is compassion, and hand value, that is communication in our triple partnership model. Right? Let's go to the next slide. This is the main thing about roadmap, right? What is this whole program in for me? When you start your child in nursery class, the child is about seeing and doing. And as the child moves from 6 to 7, 8 years old, it's about moving from basic to beginner. So they do, and then they, kind of have making, that kind of stuff happens when that age group. There are a lot of about creating stuffs. And then when they move into the age of 9, 10, and 11, they become intermediate. They start thinking and they start doing, right? And when they move into group 3, which is 12, 13, and 14, they become a little bit more advanced. This is when they have that I need some respect, okay? They are in the pre-teen stage, and this part they're already planning. They can plan things and they can do things in excellence. Trust me, they can, parents. And as they move into the age 15, 16, and 17, they are transforming and they are achieving. And you can see things that if they let them do independently, the child is achieving in excellence. So as they finish when they are 17, they get graduated in the Sai excellence. They have an award that comes from the council, and then the child becomes a Sai young adult. And today we have many Sai young adults that are already part of a program who are also gurus. And you can see that this 3H that we started, the head value, the heart value, and the hand value, they start to discriminate well. They're more devoted in what they do, and they're very duty bound. And due to this, they have complete faith and surrender with whichever god, may can be Swami, their Ishta Deva, specifically into their own principle of having a good character life. Okay, now let's go to the next part. Now, this is what Swami tells about Balvikas, right? Or the education in human values. It's basically to develop innate goodness in the child. Like I told you, very, very simple way of imagining the seed, the value, how the little seed became a big, huge tree. Exactly, that is what we are looking forward to, right? Next. So this is the team. So it's not only 5 of us. If you really know, there is at least about 40 of our gurus who are running this program behind the scene, right? So we have this big flower that we want to make sure your child becomes the flower in God's garden and a star in God's heaven, right? For all this, we have group coordinators that are supporting the team. So we have nursery, we have Sister Shamini, and then we have group 1 coordinator, Sister Chitra. Then we have the group 2 coordinator, Sister Ambige, and we have group 3 coordinator, which is Brother Jivin, and we have group 4 coordinator, which is Brother Jivan. Brother Jivin and Brother Jivan are our products of Balvikas, and you will see more of the products of Balvikas when you go for your meet and greet sessions, and there you will see more. And today, even at the leadership of the Bandar Klang, you will see many of the products of Balvikas are already taking good leadership roles there as well, right? Yep. This is the nursery gurus. You will meet them soon. Let's just have a quick teaser view of them. Next slide. The group 1 gurus. You can already do the counting of how many gurus are in each class, right? Next, group 2 gurus, group 3 gurus, and group 4 gurus. Right? Next. And this is our Balvikas class calendar. We will send this over so you know when are the days that we have classes, when the days we have no classes, who do you contact. Next. And all our classes for now, due to the pandemic challenges that we are facing, we are running all classes via Zoom, and there is already a meeting ID and passcode given to all of you. So some classes are running in the morning times, some classes are running in the afternoon times. Please take note of it, and we will let you know a little bit more in depth about Veda classes for group 3 and group 4 when our fellow brother Naveen shares in his session after this about the Veda classes. And there's also something called BBTP, Balvikas Bhajan Training Program, which we will also add through in his sharing later. Right? So thank you very much, everybody, for your time. I have this much to share. Actually, I have that much to share, but in this short time, I can only share this much with all of you. So take some time to digest it. You will get to know a little bit more in depth when you get into your respective classes. There, the gurus and the coordinators there in the specific classes will give you complete understanding in the next session. All right. Anyone has any questions, you may put down in the chat box. We will collate all the questions, put it into a frequently asked question, and share it as a document with all of you. And you can also hit the questions during the breakout sessions. And we are very thankful that we have the Vice President of the Education of SSIOM to be with us today in this call, Sairam Minaka.
Sairam, thank you for having me here, Sairam.
Thank you for having all of us here today, Swami, as well as you, sister. All right. So no, further, with not much time delays, I will pass it over back to Sister Anushka. Thank you, and Sairam.
Ramka, thank you so much. Very well said, Akka. Thank you. It is said the best way to love God is to love all and serve all. And service is love in action. Now we will have a sharing from the service wing by Brother Mohana Kumar, the Secretary and Service Coordinator of Satya Sai Baba Center of Bandar Klang.
Om Sri Sai Ram. The service wing is an integral part of any centers in Satyasai organization. Seva is an action that liberates us. Thus, it is a spiritual practice in the humanitarian basis. A point to note here is doing the best of you, to your family, and to society within your available skill, knowledge, and resources. The attitude of performing a service activity is without self-interest and voluntary. The outcome of your participation at the end of it is happiness and gratitude. In short, self-service, service to family, community service. A list of service activities available under the Social Economic Development. We have Narayana Seva, giving dry ration by helping the needy and poor, guiding the needy and poor in documentation and paperwork, creating sustainable initiative for them to continue living, feeding the homeless. Next is medical care. We do organize a lot of medical camps, blood donation drive on quarterly basis, hospital visit, orphanage visit, old folk visit, as well as handicapped homes. And then we do have environment care, which is we care for the mother nature by planting trees, encouraging people to have a plant at home, save water, protect natural resources, river protection work, etc. Next, emergency relief work, natural disasters, flood relief, fire, pandemic, and so on. Service of need. All you need is pure heart to help and the noble intention are the basis of the service. You may volunteer your time, energy, skill, knowledge to the above activities. Satisai organization does not do any fundraising, neither get any funding from anywhere. All activities are self-funded and voluntary contribution without any compulsion. With that, Jai Sai Ram.
Okay, Jai Sai Ram. Thank you to the service wing. Be like the lions, he said, self-reliant, courageous, majestic, and just. The lion is the king of animals, and I want you to be king among men. I think some of us would already have who is going to be the next coming up next. So we have here sharing by the architects of the future, led by Brother Harvin Rao, our young adult coordinator of Satya Sai Baba Center of Bandar Klang, via a video. Thank you to the young adult wing for the beautiful sharing. Past, present, or future. For all time, women are the backbone of progress, the heart of the nation, the very breath. They have the capacity and the responsibility to transform the home and the power to change society. So next up, we have sharing from the ladies wing by Sister Shanti Mohana, the ladies coordinator of Satya Sai Baba Center of Bandar Klang. These two would be shared via a video.
Sairam, dear brothers and sisters. My name is Sister Santi Mohanam, the Ladies Wing Coordinator of SSBC Bandar Klang. Once Swami said in his discourses, ladies should develop the quality of sympathy, compassion, love, and sacrifice. Our ladies wing have lined up few activities in compliance with our current pandemic situation. The first activity is Kodi Archana. We had been conducting Laksha Archana. Now it is being called Kodi Archana. It is simply an extended version of Laksha Archana. It is done by chanting Swami's name 108 times every day. You can include this chanting in your daily routine prayers. So come, Brothers and sisters, let's do this together. The second activity is called Light Program. The program has been started since 2014. It is an empowerment program created specially for all ladies and has touched many ladies' life very deeply since then. About 4 years ago, the light has been enhanced and it is being well received by devotees and public. There will be a train the trainer session planned on 23rd and 24th January via Zoom call. This program is open for all sisters. Our next activity is called Lotus Program. This is yet another beautiful program created specially for all married couple and newlyweds. These are some of the wonderful moments during Lotus Program. Our next activity is called Gita Samarpanam. Join this program to learn and chant Gita verses. These are some of our sisters who had joined and completed chapter 12. They did an amazing video presentation in conjunction of our Ladies' Day celebration. Our next activity is called Healthy and Happy Session. This is a health educational session organized for all our devotees. It will be held on 6 March 2021. More information will be shared in the coming months. Our last activity is Ladies' Day celebration on 19 November 2021. More details of this activity will be shared later. Last year, there were few activities conducted online such as Healing Jodi and Laksha Archana. It was really amazing to see so many ladies come together and participated in Ladies' Day celebration. Thank you and Sai Ram.
There was a beautiful sharing from the ladies' swing. Thank you. Next up, the power of spirituality is inexplicable and infinite, and Swami usually says can transform an animal into man and man to a divine being. So of course, it's right for me to invite the spiritual coordinator of Satya Sai Baba Center of Bandar Klang, Brother Naveen. Sairam Manne.
Sairam. Sairam, everyone. Very nice to see all of you all here today. Huge number of participants, and it's really heartwarming to see all the parents and all the students here for this wonderful virtual Open Day, Balvikas Open Day. So I'm just here to give a very quick brief description on what the spiritual wing is all about. I'm not going to take too much time. And then we will also, I'll just quickly introduce how the spiritual wing is going to integrate with all the education or the Balvikas activities for the year. All right. So first of all, just a very quick introduction on the spiritual wing, the purpose and the mission, as you can see here. We are here to unite all spiritual programs, just including bhajans, study circles, sadhana camps, meditation workshops, prayers, etc. All right. And what we intend to do is to streamline all these activities and to standardize them wherever necessary and to provide guidelines so that all of us can learn to implement these activities and either do them by ourselves at home, or we can even join together with the center and do the activities together, right? And also, we are here to empower, or we would like to help to empower all aspirants, all devotees, everyone here with the teachings of our beloved Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and to help aspirants appreciate the inner relevance of these modern day living and challenges. So what we aim to do is we try to make spirituality as practical as possible for all of us. A lot of us think spirituality is only for those who are, who have meditated for years, or those who sit on the mountains and, keep silence to themselves. No, spirituality is for all of us. Spirituality is for everybody. And now with the advancement of technology, and with the guidance from our beloved Guru, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, spirituality is in the tips of our fingers, all right? And here, as a spiritual wing of the center, we try our best to get everyone together and do spiritual activities together. So a very quick breakdown of the spiritual wing of center. We have 4 main departments, I would say, for lack of better word. We have the Bhajan wing, we have the study circle wing, self-transformation program or STP and the Gayatri chanting, especially home Gayatri chanting. All right. So this is the main structure of spiritual wing. And of course, the spiritual wing cannot, a spiritual coordinator cannot function without an assistant. And Guru Lishant, who is also the guru for Group 4, he is our spiritual wing assistant coordinator. And we all work together as a team, and all the departments you saw earlier have all got their own separate coordinators themselves. If you need more information, you can always contact either me or Brother Lishan, and we'll be very happy to provide more information, right? And currently, of course, we are going through a very difficult time with the pandemic. So not many activities we are able to be run, especially not physical activities. And the one activity that all of us are missing right now is our weekly bhajans. So unfortunately, we are not able to meet to have weekly bhajans. But as I said earlier, with the advancement of technology, we can still run programs virtually. So here are the activities that are still currently running. We have online study circles, online satsangs, which are open for everyone. Everyone is welcome to join. If you are not part of the SSBC BK announcement group, you can always give your details. And I'm pretty sure if you join that group, you'll be able to get all the details to join in for all these activities. We have STP, or the Self-Transformation Program, which is a program which is catered to for inner growth, okay? And this program will be commencing in February. We also have a global effort, it's called the Global Akanda Gayatri, where the whole world comes together to chant 24 hours non-stop Gayatri chanting, okay? And so Malaysia will always be given a certain time slot, normally about 2.5 hours. And we together as a center, we take turns with families to chant the Gayatri mantra non-stop, okay, for that period of time. We also have Bhajan Recordings. Now the SSBC BK Bhajan team is one of the most active teams in the center. And although we are not meeting now for weekly bhajans, they're not keeping quiet, they are still keeping themselves active. We do various recordings for bhajan training, recordings for album productions, recordings for major festivals, which the spiritual wing is very highly involved. So bhajan recordings are part of the activities that are running as well. And the two important activities I would like to stress on for today is the Balvikas Bhajan Training Program and the Balvikas Veda Classes. Now let's look at these two activities quickly, because this will be relevant to all of you all. So the Balvikas Bhajan Training Program, next slide. So the Balvikas Bhajan Training Program, or the BBTP, okay, is one of the, next slide, can you just move on? Is one of the activities that the spiritual wing is integrating together with the education wing, all right? Now, what is BBTP? Now, the current BBTP that we're running, we'll be calling it as BBTP 2.0. Why do we say that? Is because we were doing BBTP last year, but in the format now is a little bit more different. What we are doing is we are planning to combine the techniques and presentation materials from all the previous BBTP and MBT programs. Now, MBT was what BBTP used to be called, all right? So monthly bhajan training was conducted in center those days, where all the students come together in one class, and one guru will just teach them one bhajan, and we learn the meaning of the bhajan, and then they practice the songs. But BBTP now is even more in-depth. So we don't just learn a song, they learn the meaning, they learn the pronunciation, but they also learn maybe the raga of the song, or the tala of the song, and a short story behind the song. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to inculcate the love of singing bhajans, which our beloved Sri Sathya Sai Baba has always encouraged all of us to do. And the purpose of the BBTP, basically, next slide, Anna. The purpose of the BBTP is to train and educate all Balvikas students on the importance of bhajan singing and discipline, and to teach Balvikas students various bhajans in accordance with their respective Balvikas groups. Now, this is open for all students group 1 to group 4, and it's a compulsory program. We expect all students from group 1 to group 4 to join this program, and it will be according to their timetables once a month on Saturdays from 4:15 p.m. to 5:15 p.m. Okay, so you will all get your timetables and you will know where you're supposed to go. All right, so this is the BBTP 2.0 program. All right, and the next important activity that the spiritual wing is integrating together with the education wing is the Veda classes. Now, Vedic chanting used to be only for a selected group of people those days, right? You had to go to a Gurukul to learn Vedas. You had to have you had to be in a particular caste to learn Vedas. You had to have a guru to teach you, right? But one of the legacies of our beloved Swami is to bring down the Vedas for all of us to learn. And all of us have now got the opportunity to learn Vedas. And we are trying to bring this on to the Balvikas students. All right. So the purpose of the Veda classes here is to train and educate Balvikas students on Sanskrit intonation, pronunciation, as well as discipline while chanting Vedas and mantras, and to teach Balvikas students the important Vedic chants that are commonly chanted. All right. So we used to conduct these classes in the center those days a long time ago for all devotees on Saturdays, and then we brought it forward to the group 3 and group 4 syllabus, and this was before COVID-19. Last year we did not have any Veda classes, but this year we have made it sure that it will be part of all Balvikas syllabus. Now, Veda classes will be open for group 3 and group 4 students. Next slide, Anna. And it will be taught online for the first time, and the classes will be held weekly during the group 3 and group 4 class times. All right, so you will all have your timetables, and once you get your timetables, you'll know when these Veda classes will be commencing. All right, so that's it from the spiritual wing. I would like to thank all of you all for listening, and I would like to wish all of you all the best. Have a good year, enjoy yourselves. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you very much. Anushka, back to you.
Thank you, Anne. Jai Sai Ram to you too. So for our next session, I think that's the main session for the day. The next will be breakout session. So here, let me go through a little bit. Next slide, ne? So what will happen here is the moderators will assign you to the breakout room according to the class and slot given in the breakout call card. So in the breakout room, this is where you will meet and greet with the class gurus. Sorry, there was a little technical glitch. I was moved. And so let me repeat, in the breakout room, you will meet and greet with the class gurus and understand the class structure and guidelines. If your questions are not answered, it will be penned down and will be addressed in a FAQ sheet later on. There is 2 scenarios here. Number 1, if you are only having one breakout slot, then you will leave the call after the meet and greet with gurus. And we'll meet you all again in the welcoming class based on the class timings next Sunday. There's another second scenario where you're a parent with more than one child and those children are in different classes. So what will happen is you'll be assigned to the second breakout slot, and after your first, you'll be assigned to the second one. And once completed, you can leave the breakout session, and we'll meet you again in the welcome